guys, I am back again today with another Project Life process video. This time I'm doing week 6 of my 2019 Project Life. There I'm just showing you that I went and printed off or downloaded and then printed the free digital products that Felicity Jane had put out that matched the Lindsay kit, which included those 2 3x4 cards and just like 3 different embellishments. And I actually loaded them into the Silhouette software to print them and then also create the cut files so that I did not have to fussy cut them, which was super exciting. So I'm really excited to use the Lindsay kit. This is the first week in February. February 1st. Started the last in the during week 5, but I decided to start using the Lindsay kit for week 6. So I'm just going to keep this pretty simple. You'll see later in the video, I've got my work phone sitting there. I had actually taken the day off for PTO to get some stuff done for my daughter's birthday party that was coming up. So I had some extra time at the end of the day. So I decided to do a couple of Project Life spreads and my phone was just blowing up. So I had it sitting there next to me and I check a lot towards the end of this video to see what time it is because I needed to make sure that I got over to pick my kids up in time. But anywho, so I just cut down one of the pattern papers. It was the Squiggles and Squares paper. It's got like a light pink background with just a wavy pattern and a darker pink on top of it. So I'm using that for my title card, and then I'm going to use that little floral piece that came in the digital download. And then I'm just using some black foam thickers from my stash to spell out week 6. And then because I can never go without having some sort of a boo-boo on my spread, I picked out this pink label and I was going to stamp my dates on that one. But because I was feeling like I was rushed to get this done before I picked my kids up, I mistakenly stamped February 6th. Even though it's supposed to be February 4th. So there really wasn't any way for me to fix that. So once it was done, it was done. And I had to move on with life. So I'm just going to get out my little drawer of labels and find another label that I can use. And luckily I have some past Felicity Jane kits that I bought bits and pieces from. So a lot of the labels that are in this little drawer that I have actually do match because they're Felicity Jane, right? And they use a lot of the same colors and tones and all that stuff. So I'm just going to go through and find one that I think will match pretty well. I don't know which kit these labels are from that I'm using, but I love them because they are on sticker paper. So all you got to do is fussy cut it out and then remove the backing and you're good to go. So this time I'm going to stamp correctly February the 4th. And I'm using the little trick from Dearly D to mask off the 2019. And then I had to fill in the 4. I don't know what's going on with my Heidi Swap roller date stamp. It seems like sometimes it's not stamping the numbers completely, even though I'm rolling it back and forth. Sorry, my chair is noisy, you guys. I need to get a different chair for my craft room. My craft room is in the basement and it gets really cold, and I've got an old like fake leather office chair that my husband had years and years ago, and the chair just, it's so cold down here. Anyway, so I'm just going to play with the placement of that just a little bit. At first, I was thinking it might look cute if I stuck it in between the week and the 6th, but in the end, I like the way that everything looks kind of justified over on the right-hand side over there. So I am going to pop that up on some foam just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to overhang it just slightly off of the edge just to give it a little bit more interest. And then I will be good to go. So I'm just going to remove the backing from that label, stick it down. I'm going to go ahead and adhere down the little floral piece. And then I'll tuck in the letter stickers behind it once it has been adhered down. I am really loving the Lindsay kit. I've played with it again today for week 7, so that'll be up next weekend. But I love the tones of the pinks. They're very coral. So there we go. My title card is done, and I'm moving on to this photo that I took of my daughter's Valentine's Day boxes that they took to school. So I had a whole bunch of, I can't remember what that collection was. It was one of the Valentine's Day collections. It wasn't this last year, it wasn't the year before, but I think it was the year before that. I had a bunch of stickers and chipboard and all kinds of stuff. So I decided to just go through all the Valentine's Day stickers that I had, and I pulled out a bunch and let my daughters just kind of go to town and stick a bunch of stickers to their boxes. So I'm going to use this. I want to try to mark the beginning of the months, even though it's on the date stamps. I had purchased the Scripty Months stamp set from Felicity Jane, so I'm going to use it on the week spread that the month crosses, just as kind of an introduction, like, hey, it's February now, if you can't tell. So I'm going to stamp down the February from that Felicity Jane stamp set, and then I'm going to pull out my little typewriter font stamps and just stamp out hello. And that looks cute. I love the way that the script, I love the script font from Felicity Jane, period. It's just gorgeous. But I love the way that it looks paired with that typewriter font. And then I am going to use one of these epoxy heart stickers that also came in the Lindsay kit. I think I used the polka dot one, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember now. Maybe it was a lined one. And that photo was done. So now I'm trying to figure out what I can do with this photo. I love this picture. The girls had career day at school, so they got to dress up as their career of choice. My little one wanted to be a mommy, so she took a baby doll to school along with a coffee cup. And then my older daughter wants to be a hairstylist, so she got to take a hair dryer and a brush, I think. I can't remember. And then I stuck a couple of the like silver clips that hairstylists use to her little jacket. So I should have moved my phone out of view. See, I just keep getting text messages and all kinds of stuff. It was driving me nuts. So I end up just moving it out of screen there. So from the Lindsay kit, I use the stamp that says "With All My Heart," and I stamped that using the Moonlight White Brilliance ink. There at the bottom, it's out of frame, but it turned out really well. You'll see it in the still photos and at the end when I'm showing you the full spread. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of the teeny tiny heart die cuts that came in the ephemera pack, and I'm going to stick it down on top of the dot of the eye. And that's all I'm going to do to this one. I'm really trying to keep this one simple so that I can just get it done before I have to go get my kids. So I'm doing minimal stuff to all these cards. And then here I've got a picture of my daughter. She had gotten sick, so I kept her home from school one day, and she was just laying around trying to get better. So I took a picture of her. She was laying on the couch watching a movie. So I'm just going to staple down that Today ephemera piece. And then I thought about adding a heart to it as well, but then I decided, keep it simple. You got to pick up your kids, move on. So I think the last photo that I have on this spread is of my favorite Mexican dinner. There's this amazing restaurant, like maybe 5 minutes away from our house, and I just can't stop wanting to go eat there. So I took a picture of the damage that we did eating there that week. And I'm just using that large love sentiment on the Lindsay stamp set. I seriously can't get enough. It's like once a week, something, my brain just is like, you haven't eaten Mexican this week yet. You need to go. So then I'm going to add on this red rubber heart. I'm going to use, whenever I adhere down rubber pieces, I always use my red line tape. So I'm just getting that all ready to go. And then I will stick that down just above the love, and that is done. So I'm just going to pick up my workspace as per the usual, just a little bit to make room for me to bring my spread back over so you guys can have a look at everything that I did. Oh, maybe I lied. So I wanted to add this tab that says together. And I like the way that it looks up top. It's got some stitching printed on it. So I wanted to stick it at the top of the photo, but then I realized I was working on the back side of a page protector. So I know I could have cut a slit so that I could have still put it in that way, but I end up discovering that I can't put it on the top because of the fact that I have to put it into the back of the page protector. So I just move it to the bottom, and I think it looks great down there as well. So I'm just going to stamp down a small sentiment. I think it was the one that said, "This was so fun." It's a tiny little stamp set. I think it's a 2x3 stamp set from Studio Calico and In a Creative Bubble. I think I got it when I had purchased some past Studio Calico kits sometime last year or something like that. So you'll see me there. I'm looking over and I'm like, I can't put it at the top, but it's okay. Just stick it at the bottom. There's room. And it looks fine. So now that is done, and I'm going to staple it with my tiny attacher as well. And then I will bring over the whole spread, and here it is. I am all done. It is simple, but I got the week done and I love it. I am loving the Lindsay kit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've got just a couple close-up shots. I will see you guys next week for another Project Life Spread. Bye.